Our temperature goes up and down as a global average 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon dioxide always goes with temperature, and it varies between 180 and 280 parts per million. You may be aware that it's now over 400 parts per million. You may have heard of 350.org or some of these other efforts to try and slow the warming and get climate back to where we took it for granted as kind of a normal range of weather. Well, temperature follows CO2. Either if temperature goes higher, CO2 will go higher. If CO2 goes higher, temperature will go higher. They go in lockstep, and I'd be glad to explain why, but for simplicity of time, I won't do that here. But the problem now is that CO2 has gone up through the roof. So temperature's starting to climb up, although there's a lag time. And as temperature gets warmer, what do you think happens to the ice shelves and glaciers? They melt. And those that are on land will cause sea level to rise. It's really that simple. How do we know that? Well, we drill ice cores in Greenland, where I'll be, it's the same, about 2 weeks, and in Antarctica. We drill down, and it's kind of like drilling into a tree with tree rings and saying what happened 25 or 30 years ago. Was it a warm year or a wet year or a dry year, etc.? Well, we can do the same thing. In this scientist's fingers here is a slice of the column that we extract. And in Greenland, we can get 140,000 years of data, and in Antarctica, 800,000 years. And in those air bubbles that are trapped in there, there are little bright spots here, but those are encapsulated air bubbles under pressure. We can measure the percentage of carbon dioxide that exists inside. And we know temperature because even though it's frozen, and of course it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, there's two isotopes of oxygen, 16 and 18, and they, by molecular weight, vary with temperature in proportion. So we have a frozen record of 800,000 years of temperature and carbon dioxide. That's really accurate. And we know sea level because guys like me 40, 50 years ago were trying to find ancient shorelines and other ways to know where shark's teeth perhaps up on the hillside. You've probably seen some of those. So we have a very good picture of 800,000 years of carbon dioxide temperature and sea level. And they form a very good picture.